moving forward, the topic of the day, we are talking about a strategy that we need to follow in terms of making to the institution of our choice. So these are going to be the specific guidelines that you need to follow in order to make it to the institution. The presentation of the day is going to take you through four important topics. One is I'm going to take a minute to tell you that who is it that I am and why is it that you're working with me on this particular topic. The other is going to be that why is it that English happens to be the most important thing that is asked of you in the examinations everywhere across the world. Any examination that you're going to appear in is going to take into cue your knowledge of English. So this is an integral. Then what is it that they ask you and how is it that you need to prepare for it? So this is what is going to be more or less the tone of the day. This is what we are going to talk about. Along with this, we are also going to practice a sheet which is going to tell you or give you a fair deal of idea of how is it that the examination is going to be conducted and what are the sort of questions that are going to be asked of you across the board. No matter which examination that you're preparing for, most of the examinations ask you more or less the same sort of questions when it comes to verbal ability. However, the magnitude and the level of the examination might differ, so we are going to talk about that as well. So I would take this opportunity to start off with this very simple quote. It says, ambition is the path to success, persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. That is, I want each one of you to be successful in your endeavors, but persistence is what is going to take you forward. Now, since we do not have a lot of time at our disposal, the persistence that you show is going to be mostly contingent on the weaknesses that you have vis-a-vis the topic called verbal ability, because this has no length and bound. So there is no length and breadth to this topic. There is absolutely no course attached to it. This is something where the examiner can ask you anything from anywhere. Hence, it becomes important for you to follow a strategic plan rather than reading every book that is available for you in the market. For the next 30 to 40 days, you are required to follow the strategy that I'm sharing with you here. If you haven't taken a session with me before, this is who I am. My name is Rahul Jain. I am a communications strategist. I'm not somebody who comes from a general background of teaching. I am somebody who has been working with the for a long to all the emails that I have received in the previous days. If there's anything that you would want to share, you can write it to me directly on this ID and I will try and reply back to you in the shortest possible time. If you want to know more about me, to learn that who is it that you're working with, you can simply write Rahul Jain Media on Google and Google will take you to the information about me. Okay, so moving forward with the topic of the day. Now, a very important thing like this, right? This is the expression that most of us have when we people start talking about English. Why is it that we are required to learn a foreign language when we people are living here in India? This is not the specific language that we people have as a national language of this country. Why are we asked to learn something that is not the same language? Hence, it becomes really important for us to also understand the reason why is it that somebody asks us a question about this. The reason is that English happens to be a global language, and any institution that is going to take you in as a candidate, they would want you to be astute in the way in which you talk to the people, in the way you understand with the people, and how you represent the organization. So that is the reason that they want you to be skilled in terms of learning and knowing a foreign language of this sort. So now this is not an independent examination for one institution. Every examination, every institution, anywhere, that is, if you want to get recruited with an organization, if you want to take admission in a higher education institution, want to leave the country and work for some other company in some other country, or you want to write an SOP to take admissions in a foreign university, then everything will ask of you of the same examination, that is your to test your verbal ability, right? So this course happens to help you for the examination that you're going to appear in just in a few next few days or a month, and it is also going to stay relevant for the tenure of any examination that you might appear in henceforth, right? So if you're tomorrow going to appear in a college examination for a job, you are going to stay relevant there. If you are going to appear for institute examination for a foreign university, you are going to stay relevant there. Anything that you would require is going to stem from the knowledge of the sessions that we are going to have on verbal ability here. So now, for the purpose of understanding the importance of this topic, I have these small standards bifurcated for you. So herein we can say, if you're sitting for an examination that is worth 200 marks, 50 marks at least are going to be allotted to English. Again, similarly, if the examination is worth 800 marks, some certain examinations are of that sort, 200 marks are going to be allotted to English. And there are certain examinations wherein 100% of the examination is in English. And then it becomes really important for us to be able to understand this language and communicate in this language. When I'm talking about 100% of the examination to be English, I'm talking about situations wherein the examiner asks you to be interviewed in English, make group discussions happen, write a summary, write a précis, write a note, write a letter. All of those examinations are 100% in English. Hence, we would want to learn English. So there is nothing that is going to happen without it. Even if you were to understand that if you've chosen to write the examination in English, your verbal ability part, your general knowledge part, your logical reasoning part, and the questions that are going to be asked of you in terms of mathematics and subject matter knowledge, all of them are going to be in English. Hence, the knowledge of English becomes primary to your ability to answer questions. I request everyone to please turn off their microphones. This is creating a lot of disruption for this lecture, right? Okay, so again, to ease the way in which we can learn all the topics that are going to be asked of us in the examination, I've broken the course down into 3 different tiers. The first tier talks about the type of examinations that are not very difficult. Here I'm talking about examinations like a BCA examination, which doesn't ask of you a lot. Here we are just going to be asked questions on reading comprehensions, fill in the blanks, spelling mistakes, phrases and idioms, one-word answers, corrections, errors, synonyms, and antonyms. Most of these exercises are based on the understanding of words, hence vocabulary based questions. The second type of examinations, which are like the MBA examinations, the management school examinations, the journalism examination, the LLB examination, all of those examinations are going to ask of you something that is a little on the application side of the knowledge of these things, right? So they are going to ask you questions on close test, parajumble, active passive, direct indirect. All of these things are mostly dependent on the understanding of all of these things. That is, this is grammar plus the understanding of vocabulary, right? So this is a little ahead in the idea of what they can ask you. And then the last tier is again the descriptive writing part, wherein we are talking about institutions that want to judge you on your overall ability of the skill. That is, you use the knowledge of the words, you use the grammar to create proper communication in terms of essays, précis, letters, and application, right? So this is the final part. Some of the institutions ask you for such questions towards the latter part of the selection procedure, but this again is going to require of you to know everything here, right? So this is the embodiment of every piece of knowledge that you could have gained over the years, right? So this is how I've broken the course down into. This is a small statistic that I would request of you to consider. By this statistic, I want you to show that there are only 20% of the Indians in US who know how to socially engage with the people of that country. That is, I'm considering each one of them to know how to speak in English. That is not a problem for anyone now, right? So everybody can speak and write in English, but that doesn't make you complete enough to be able to become as good as a general person. Why is that so? The knowledge of a language is not enough in order to create a meaningful interaction. So for somebody who thinks that I can hear English and understand, I can write English and I can write it well, I'm not really very proficient in it, but I can considerably write it well, it's good. But then this is not all that is required for you to be able to make it to the institution of your choice, because this is a competitive examination. That means this is going to be widely different from your knowledge that you have gained during your board examination or your years at school. Here the institutes want you to be a little better than just being able to understand the language. You should also know how to use it well, so that you can use it in your interactions well. Now interactions are both written and verbal, and they are going to test you on both the skills. Hence I want you to be a part of this 20% of the population, not the part of this 80% who do not know how to talk in English, right? Or how to converse in English. It's not just about speaking, it's about creating meaningful conversations. The next is the challenge that we have right in front of us. The first challenge that we have is that we do not have a lot of time at our disposal. That means we are not we haven't really started early on this. This is the final lap. We cannot start revising different topics from the books that are available in the market, start flipping them. And if we start doing that at this stage, we are just left with about 30 to 40 days, and for some of us it's even less. So then we wouldn't have time enough. What we require today is to understand what are the areas that I lag in, right? So this is going to be unique to each one of you. Some of you might feel that I lack in vocabulary. The others might feel that my concepts of grammar are not that I cannot really remember them that well. Some of you might feel that my grammar and vocabulary is all right, but when it comes to reading comprehensions, I take a lot of time to resolve it. So each one of you is going to have a unique problem of their own. So at this point in time, I want you to identify those problems. This is what I'm going to help you to do today, right? So with this sense, I also will have to go through a lot of mock tests. This is the only way that I can assess my standard today. What is it that my position is? So when you take a mock test, you will be able to understand that these are the few things that I am probably facing a problem with. If there are certain things that you're facing a problem with, you practice them more. In the sessions that you have with me, we are obviously going to talk about every topic at length, as much as the time allows us to. So I am going to help you to brush up all the concepts that are required of you to clear your examination. So that topic that you're comfortable with, you can leave it for the time being, and you can do that when we conduct a session on it, and you can revise that topic at that point in time, and you can simply complete the practice sessions, that practice sheets that we provide you with. But when it comes to a topic that you feel that you are not very proficient in, and it creates a problem to you every time that you take a question up on that topic, you can go ahead and practice it and start practicing it already from any book that is available to you. It doesn't matter what publication, which book that you are practicing your questions from. Every book talks about the same rules. Every book has been created by somebody with a good perspective. So when it comes to verbal ability, you can use any book that is available to you. I recommend that you use the books that are given to you by the institution, because they have been particularly prepared for you with the perspective of the examination. So that is also a resource that you can religiously follow. And the last is that you need to address the weak areas at this point. You do not have a lot of time. I'm emphasizing on it. Time is your biggest enemy at this point in time.